that we are very poor in synergizing the effort. Synergizing the effort between industry, between academia, and between the refractory manufacturers. What is the opportunity? Opportunity is huge. 300 million ton by year 2030, 500 million ton by 2047. We consider this as an opportunity. Opportunity post COVID, all the European countries wants to make a distance between China and they are looking for an alternates. India can fill up that gap. That's an opportunity. Threat. Threat is dumping that low grade refractories to our countries by China. So within that perspective, if you look into, there are two important points from the academia and research viewpoint I would like to mention. The first one is, I don't know how many of you are aware, we call it as a technology readiness level. If you do any research, we call it as a TRL. TRL is the categorization done by European Union. TRL 1, TRL 2, TRL 3, TRL 4, TRL 5, TRL 6 up to TRL 9. TRL 1 is the idea generation, lab experiment up to TRL 4. 5, 6 is escalation to certain extent, and then 7, 8 is testing in the site in a real life situation, and TRL 9 is almost you can set the industry for that. Unfortunately, very minimal research is going on in our country in the area of refractories. There are very few organizations, I can name them. They are working, government sector I'm talking. Every private sector may have certain pockets that refractory research. But when you talk about government sector, being worked in government sector, I know that when you get a funding for research, let me be I may be excused, but most of the time it ends up in a report. I repeat, it ends up in a report. I appeal to all the manufacturers here or the user industry that unless and unless otherwise in this country the research is funded by the private players like Europe, we will put invest if you will invest in to see that the research output is useful in your industry, in your plant. You will tell the researcher that no, let me see that how your output is working in a real life situation. Means what is the research content at TRL level 8 and 9? That can only come when the researcher will co-create. Researcher will co-create with the user industry, not collaborate. Collaborate is different than co-creation. Collaborate means you go to travel to certain extent, then you go to users industry, say that I have done this, whether you have something where I can use. No. If you want a functional refractory to be carried out, to be developed, then you have to come to the refractory manufacturer, the refractory user, Tata Steel, and say that look, for the turn for your continuous casting hole, what is your requirement? I have the we let us start. What is your requirement? And I will develop in that direction. When both travel to certain extent, then and only then the research output will see the light of the day in industry. That is my first point. So, in a nutshell, the refractory research in our country has to be broad origin, and the funding major, maybe 70 to 60%, which is there in European country, has to come from private players. Number two, 2 points which already touched upon the manpower. See, manpower, the dirty work, what you say that it is not liked by the students nowadays. But you have seen that fiber laser is being used for monitoring. Our CGCRI, where I had the opportunity to head, is now capable of producing, making fiber laser to 5 kilowatt, 10 kilowatt, based all rare earth materials, fiber laser that are available. We have made it. Now, those things, they are high quality science, high quality research. Those things with digitization and automation can be can be used and in turn increasing the, or you can say in turn monitoring the exhausted life. We have developed the fiber sensor which I'm talking. Instead of thermography, we can use that fiber sensor, take the data to the control room, and know online what is happening, the deterioration. What we had to know now, that what are the deterioration parameters. So what I mean to say is that of course, the the raw material beneficiation is a, you can say that modern student may not like to do that dirty hands and all that, but when you orient them into the area of and monitoring, white collar research areas. And then to fill up the gap of this sector where the raw material development is needed, we can concentrate on diploma holders, postgraduate diploma holders, or even ITI. This, this manpower could be trained as a feeder to user industries. So that way, now my appeal to all of you here is that make a consortium of users industry, manufacturers, refractory manufacturers, and academia to see that research horizon is widened. Number one. Number two is that most of the institutions open the either degree curriculum, pedagogy, or postgraduate in ceramic engineering, refractory and glass, or at least diploma that will very easy in and other technology. I think if we concentrate in this direction, then the problems of manpower could solve to a large extent. Otherwise, the 300 million ton dream of 2030 by government of India uh, will be very difficult unless otherwise the refractory industries cope up with the development. And as they as a manufacturer, as a user like BSL, Tata Steel should also work on of refractories per ton consumption, which is presently maybe 13 kg or 14 kg or 12 kg, something like that. 12 to 14 kg can bring down to certain lower level. So I think that with this I am done with my point is that the